Hi there, how's your Friday going? It's Debbie from Create Pretty Things. Are you ready to chalk a little bit? I am. I'm ready for a weekend full of crafting, so I hope you'll join me. Today's keyword is, what is it? It's grill, G-R-I-L-L. That will get you the supply list for tonight's project. What I have here is our brand new surface. It's called a flip sign. And look, it's freestanding. It stands on its own. You can flip it. It's two-sided. It's reusable. You could paint the frame if you wanted to, however you want to use it, but it's brand new. It just came out in the autumn launch, and I love it already. I can think of so many ways to use this. How are you guys doing? What are your plans for this weekend? Let me know as you jump on. Tell me what you're gonna do this weekend, and say hi. Tonight we're gonna use, or today, it's afternoon, we're gonna use this cute sign. It says, it's called Come and Hang Out. It has 4 different pieces to it. So we're gonna use the bottom 2. Welcome to our backyard bar and grill, and the Grand Central. There's also the Come In and Hang Out, which I think is really cool, and the soda shop, ice cream, candy, shaved ice. All of these would be great on this board, or a couple other surfaces that we have to offer. Now today I'm going to go ahead and cut these completely in half, or not in half, but completely apart, right through the backer. And before I peel these off, I want to make sure that I make marks on the backer so that I know which side is the back side. And I really do wish that I had a permanent marker in here. Oh, here I do. I'm just going to make a couple little lines so that I can recognize that this is the back. I will be putting them back on this backer sheet when I am done. These transfers are reusable. They're sticky. You can reuse them between 8 and 12 times. You just need to clean them up really good, put them on the backer sheet, and store them properly. So here we go. We're going to get started with our welcome to our backyard bar and grill. So these are sticky, and you want to add some fuzz to the back of them so that they don't stick really hard to your surface. You don't want them to stretch as you pull them up, and you don't want to damage the surface below. So I'm going to peel this off of the backer, and see how sticky they are? I'm going to apply it to my fuzz towel. If you don't have a fuzz towel, you can use your shirt, you can use a towel, anything that's fabric, just to pick up a little bit of lint, and just to make it a little less sticky. Okay, so I'm going to apply it by centering it to my surface. And look, this is just about the exact size, almost, of our surface. I'm going to smooth it down to make sure there's not any air bubbles, especially around the silk screen. The white that you see is a silk screen. That's where the paste is going to go through the silk screen and stay on the back, on the top of your surface. I have added some little palette packs to our shopping cart tonight. There's 2 of them. There's 2 different ones because I wanted to give you the variety pack. And you can choose whatever you want. You can pick one, or you can get rid of both and pick jars if you need jars. But I've got a couple different colors, and I've got the jars. This is the eucalyptus that I thought would be cool. This one is shimmer peach. We have cadet, which is a navy blue. We have colonial blue. This is my very first paste I ever bought. I love the color. This is Tide, and this is guava. So we're going to do a selection of these colors. We may not do them all, but we'll just go ahead and play a little bit and see what we like. So I am thinking, I want to make sure this is straight. It's not quite straight. It's a little crooked. So these are repositional. If you get them on crooked, or you want to change the way it's laying, have a better idea after you start. This is still kind of crooked. You can reposition these to get them perfect. Okay, that looks better to me. Now see how right now I have a few bubbles right here. I have a couple little bubbles. I want to make sure those are down, even though they're not in the silk screen. The silk screen is really what you want to make sure is down good, because you don't want that paste to bleed underneath. So you'll make sure that there's a great border to it to stop it. And I don't have any bubbles in that right now. So I think I'm going to start with the Cadet on Backyard. So this is our paste. It is chalk in a paste form. It's water soluble, it's non-toxic, and it's a dream to use. You just need to get a little bit on your squeegee. Now this is a silicone squeegee, it has a beveled edge. And I, at this point, am just gonna chalk the word backyard. So I'm just gonna apply it and spread the paste. So where there isn't any paste, I can get extra from another area. It doesn't take much paste at all. So you're just kind of moving your paste around to cover all the area that you want to have this color on. Then when you're done, or you think you've got good coverage, you want to go over it and take maybe the top layer off so that you're not wasting any paste. See how much extra I had? I'm gonna scrape that off back into my jar. And I'm gonna go ahead and cap this up. I'm probably not gonna use the blue again. So I'm gonna cap it up, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my squeegee just by spraying it with some tap water. So I have my tap water here, and I have a paper towel. And I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe it, clean off all that paste. Make sure it's clean because you don't wanna contaminate your other colors with another color. And this is ready to reuse with a different color. Now, since you want to peel these off when the paste is wet, I'm going to do something called the paste and peel. I'm going to peel this off when it's wet, just to the area that I just chalked. See how nice that looks, so crisp. Now, when you do peel it back, one mistake I always make is I lay it down on top of the new silk screen. So make sure that you kind of keep it up in the air so that it's not laying down on something that you don't want paste on. I'm gonna use my heat dry tool, and I'm just gonna go ahead and dry this just a little bit. It dries really, really quickly. Since this is water soluble and it's not really a thick layer of paste, it will dry really quick. But I think that this font on this transfer is gorgeous. Look how nice that looks, guys. That's just one part. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and lay this back down, just kind of let it fall. And I'm not gonna press down where I pasted, but I am gonna press down on the areas that I have not pasted. Make sure there's no bubbles. Then I need to decide what colors I wanna use. Let's see, maybe I'll use the Colonial Blue on our Welcome to R. I'm gonna get some paste. Now this was my very first paste I ever bought, guys, Colonial Blue. And when I got it, I went, wow, this is a great color. How come no one is telling me what a gorgeous color this is? And I have loved it ever since. But since it is my very first paste color, it is a little thicker than my other paste. I added some water into it and stirred it around just to get it to be a nice consistency. So if this paste is a little thicker for you, you can always add water, a little bit of distilled water to it, and smooth it around, stir it. I have a lot left over on this one, so I'm gonna scrape it into my jar. And I'm gonna go ahead and lift and peel this Welcome to Our Backyard. I know that's gonna dry quickly because it's thicker. It's a little bit drier. And if it dries in the silk screen, it will not go down to the surface. It'll stay on top of the transfer, and it won't go where you want it to go. So that's why I'm doing the paste and pull, paste and peel, paste and pull. I guess it could be either. So this is a great project to have get-togethers with. You could get some of these and have people get these surfaces. Get a bunch of different transfers that are this size, shape. They don't even have to be this size and shape, because you can mix and match parts of, oh, hi, Phil, parts of our transfers and make something unique, very unique. So I'm gonna do the papaya, No, this is guava. So here's our papaya, here's our guava. Can you see the color differences? Not a lot of difference, not a lot. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do papaya. Phil, how are you guys doing up there in the hot weather? Are you guys staying cool? I know it's miserable here. I can imagine how it is for you guys. It's miserable. Need to look for water or stay in the house. So I'm just gonna do the word bar. And I do have quite a bit on there. I'm gonna take off that top layer, put it into my paste jar. And then I'm gonna get my Tide. And instead of cleaning another squeegee, I'm just gonna go ahead and get a different one. A little bit of Tide. This one is like a blue-green. It's really a deep color. I'm gonna do grill in that. This one's really slick. So some of these, depending on, they did a reformulation of our paste, and they made it so that it's really smooth and creamy dreamy. Whereas our other older formulas seem to have more of a chalky feel to it. But this one smooths on really, really nice. I'm gonna cap it up. And since I wanna work quickly to get that bottom part done, I am going to do, let's see, eucalyptus, I think, on the rest. So I've got a bunch of different colors going on here. I hope you like it. So here is our eucalyptus. It's one of my favorite colors, guys. I just love this light green. It's not a sage green. It's got a little bluish tint in it. But I think it's so versatile, this eucalyptus color. Now I'm not sure how these colors are gonna go together, but we will take a look. So now we have all our chalk on, and this is what it looks like at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and peel off this whole entire transfer slowly, because if I see that I missed a spot, I can go back in and re-chalk. Wow, guys, I think I would call this perfection. Yeah, look at that. That's one side of our sign. And when you're done with this season, if you want to make it a Christmas sign, all you would have to do is okay, so this paste is semi-permanent, which means that once it's dry, it's smudge proof and budge proof. If you were to rub your hand over it, it would not come off. But if you were to scratch at it, it would. So to get it off, all you would have to do is wet it down with some plain tap water, let it sit for a minute, and then scrape it off with what's called a paste scraper, or you could use an old credit card, gift card, and you would just wipe it off with that water and just wipe all the dirty water off. And then you would use what's called our board eraser, which I'll show you in a minute, to get all the ghosting off that may be residing on there. And you'd have the surface brand new to go over again. Look at this. This would look great too if I were to paint the sign. I was thinking of maybe using washi tape on it. I have a bunch of washi tape somewhere, and I thought that would be something that would be removable but decorative. I just didn't find my washi tape. So that would be an idea. I'm gonna set this aside for just a second while I clean this. So to clean this, you want to spray it with water, just tap water. The sooner you spray it, the better off you're gonna be. It's gonna wipe up a little bit cleaner because you have wet it down and not let it dry. So some of these colors are very pigmented. The Tide's very pigmented, and the Cadet is very pigmented. I expect that those will stain my teal part of my transfer, the background part, the vinyl, if you want to call it vinyl. But that is okay. What you really want to work on is getting it out of the silk screen, which is that white area that the chalk went through. You want to get it out. So I did my first pass on this. Now this is what I was telling you is a board eraser. I have mine sitting in water. I just fill it with water right before I go live. And it's usually white. It usually looks like this when it's new. See how mine's kind of smashed down and it's changed colors? It's been used quite a bit. But these are the miracle workers that clean your transfers. So you just rub it over the top. And I go a couple different ways because I really want it to get out of that silk screen. If your paste dries in the silk screen and you don't clean it, the next time you go to use it, the paste will not go through. So you want to make sure you clean them up really good. I'm going to pick this up off of my surface, wipe my surface down, and then I'm going to do the other side. Now this side has the adhesive, the sticky on it. So I want to work on it and get all the paste out of that side as well, but I'm going to go a little gentler. I don't want to take all that adhesive off. I want it to be able to stick 8 or 10 more times. So this looks really, really good to me. I want to go both ways. Now when I'm done with this side, I take a paper towel and I gently glide over it. The paper towel is not going to stick even though it's sticky because it's wet. So that's one of the advantages of having it wet. And then I'm going to go over the front side and I'm going to dry it up really well. Now you can see that I'm still getting some dirty water off of here. So that's the benefit of using the paper towel to clean it. And then I am going to get my backer sheet. Remember, we peeled it off this backer sheet. Now it has two sides and they're both pretty shiny. We used to be able to tell the difference between the shiny side and a matte side. Not so much anymore. They're both pretty shiny. But if you put it back on the wrong side, it's going to stick and it may ruin your transfer. So make sure that I marked the back with an X. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm going to make sure that my sticky side goes on the shiny side. I am going to line this up so that it fits just perfectly onto my backer sheet. Smooth it out so it has a good contact with the backer. Doesn't have any air bubbles because that protects the sticky. And see how even though it's kind of stained here on the teal, the letters, the white part is still clean. You can tell there's no paste on that. So this one is done. It's ready to be put away and used again. Okay, we're gonna do the other side of this. I think I'm just in love with this, guys. It's adorable. The keyword tonight is grill. If you type in grill, check your messenger. I will give you a link to the products I used tonight so that you can make your own. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can message me. I do see some dark spots on this teal, so it probably means that it's a little bit wetter than the rest. So I'm going to focus on those to make sure they're dry. And you can tell if it's dry just by rubbing over your finger. I love it. Now another thing about this water bath that I have here, I throw my dirty tools in there too to get them soaking so they're easier to clean. When I'm done, I'll wipe them off or I'll take them back to the sink and I'll give them a good scrub. The recommended way to clean these transfers is to take the transfer to your sink and kind of run it under cool water and wipe it off. But while I'm on live, I wanted to show you guys how to clean it and I wanted to make sure that you knew how. So I use the water bath for my board eraser to do it that way. Our next one is going to be this Grand Central Station. Now, sometimes my house is very quiet. Sometimes when I have the grandkids over, it's Grand Central Station. And this past weekend, it was Grand Central Station. And I loved it. I wouldn't have it any different. I love having them here because they are so busy. I just adore it. So I'm going to peel this off. And I did mark the back. I am going to fuzz it. Once again, you can use your shirt, you can use a towel, you can use a fuzz cloth, whichever one you like. Okay. When you're using these transfers, make sure that you have a smooth surface to apply them to. If you use wood that hasn't been sanded or something with a lot of grain sticking up, it's going to probably not stick securely, and it will run. Guys, I don't even know what colors to do this. I just love this. Let's see what my favorite color was on this one. I think the Cadet was my favorite color on this side. But I will probably use, which one? I've got the Guava and the Shimmer Melon. Maybe I'll use a Shimmer Melon. Now the Shimmer Melon is very close to the Guava, but this one has shimmer in it, which kind of catches your eye. And since the Grand has like those lights, it's got that little embellishments in it like it's a marquee, I'm going to use the Shimmer Melon. I am going to stir this up. Now, when you use your paste, it should be the consistency of a thick yogurt or sour cream, and this one's good. Just mix it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna get my squeegee, and I'm gonna do Grand Central. Let's see how this is gonna turn out. So this is not really a glitter in this paste, but it's just something that catches your eye. It's a little bit of shimmer, I like to call it, shimmer. And it will catch your eye and kind of wink at you a little bit. They'll say, hey baby, how you doing? No. They'll kind of wink at you, catch your eye, say, hey, I'm glad you're here. And that's how I feel when my grandkids come to visit. I'm so happy they're here. They do make me work a little bit though. They do entertain me, and I miss them terribly when they leave. Now sometimes I don't go down and cover the bottom or the top, so I'm making sure I really cover the bottom and the top of my letters with this. Extra paste goes back in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the paste and peel method again. Now I'm going to lift it slowly and try to work your way to the middle of this so it doesn't stretch out. Now I do go slowly because if I did miss an area, I can lay it back down and redo it. I can make corrections. This Grand looks great. And this was not from our new release, this transfer. This one was from one of our summer releases. But I feel like we still have a lot of entertaining to do this summer. Even though school's starting next week for us. We will continue to entertain. It's still so warm here that we can still do everything we need to do. We can swim, we can't really hike because it's too hot, but we can get together for barbecues and cookouts and parties. Do you guys have any gatherings coming up this summer? Like, is there a back to school party? I know there's a lot of like meet the teachers, meet your classmates type of deals. I know I've got a family reunion coming up the end of the month. I'm looking forward to. Do you guys have anything coming up as far as getting together with people? Maybe just a lunch out or having someone over for dinner? Maybe a movie night. Movie nights sound good right now. It's hot. You can stay in a cool house, watch movies, eat popcorn, have a big soda. I think that sounds like a good plan. Okay, I'm gonna peel this up. Okay, when I peeled this up, I didn't like that I missed a spot in the word like. Okay, I'll show it to you. See how that I, is it the I? Yeah, the I looks like it skipped a little bit. So I'm just gonna lay that back down, and I'm gonna get a tiny, tiny little squeegee. I'm just gonna go over the letter I. Make sure it looks good to me. And actually, I think that's just the distressing in there. Yeah, it's just distressing. So it was good. I'm gonna dry this. Central, let's do Tide for Central. Color do you think I should do the clock, guys? In my head, I'm thinking like a gold, but then I'm also thinking maybe black. Black. What do you think? What color should I do the clock? The Grand Central Station clock. Make sure you get the tops and the bottoms of those letters. That's what I always skip. Okay. Looks good. Any suggestions for the clock? I'll lay that down. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do the clock gold with black hands. Make sure these are all closed up. I don't have my gold and my black out. I'll be right back. Okay, what I got out is something called Shimmer Harvest. It's kind of a fall color. I want to make sure I mix it up. It is a little dry, so I can feel that it's just, I'm getting a little more resistance when I stir it than I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir it up. I added some distilled water. That's distilled water in that sprayer. And I'm going to go ahead and stir it. It's moving a lot better now. Make sure you stir it really well. Get any lumps out. This one doesn't have any lumps. The shimmers usually don't have lumps. They usually are just perfect. Whoops. This is a shimmer shadow, which it's a shadow, a shimmer, so I love it. Brand new. I'm going to go ahead and stir that one up as well. See how it kind of pulled some water on the side over here? Even though it's brand new, it could be mixed a little bit. It's just from sitting on its side or being tousled around a little bit. So I'm going to stir it and make sure it's a proper consistency, which it is. The shimmers are great, you guys. Okay, make sure it's down all the way. Remember, we've been pulling it. We've been taking it up and down. I think I'm going to do, this might be a little tricky. Let me do the gold first, because if I mess it up, I'll just change my mind real quick. So I'm going to try to do even the numbers, but I'm going to leave the hands so that I can do them in black. I would have really liked to have done the numbers in black too, but I think that's a little tricky. I couldn't ensure success with that, but you might be able to. This Shimmer Harvest is really a pretty color. I love it for fall. And we do have another, 2 more colors that we released a couple days ago, last week, for the fall release that are kind of, they're not really similar. There's a Dijon and a Hey Pumpkin, And I think it's a Dijon. So I'm just gonna take that, clean it up a little bit. Okay. Then I make it, I've got, this is one of these mini squeegees cut in half. I just took a pair of scissors, cut it in half. It makes a very nice little fine squeegee. I also have something called my detail tool, which has a small edge, even smaller, but it also has a pointed end, so it's useful for pulling up transfers when they're stuck in the corners or inside a frame. And this is good for detailing little small areas. I tend to like this better as a squeegee part because this isn't, it's a little thicker. It's not quite as flexible for me. So I tend to like the cut in half mini squeegees better, but that's up to you. It's just a preference. And this is a small little area for these clock hands. Okay. So that's a tip for you about the mini squeegees cut in half for small spaces. The detail tool is great too, but it's not quite as flexible. Okay, ready to reveal? Let's peel it off. Let's peel it from the center so we're not stretching it out. Awesomeness, awesomeness. Okay, when I was looking at it, I was kind of trying to see if I missed a spot on the side of the clock face, but it is just real fine detailing. I'm not sure if you can see it. It is there, but it's just real fine detailing. So if you have any little spots of paste, you can let them dry and scrape them off. Get a wet paper towel, just scrape them off as well. So here is the Grand Central Station one. What do you think of the colors? They worked, didn't they? Okay, I'm gonna spray this. I'm gonna get this clean. Now, I was trying to think of embellishments. How can I embellish this? Well, you could paint the frame. You could add washi tape to the frame, which would be temporary. I could add a ribbon, which I had. I did have the ribbon here, and maybe add a ribbon here. But I think for the Grand Central Station one, no, I don't know. I was thinking a heart because I love it when the kids come to visit. Now, if I did that, I'd have to probably move it up pretty high. So, and actually, you know what? I should have done these backward. Okay, so when you flip it, that one's right side up. But if I want the other side and I flip it, it's upside down. So that's one mistake I made just now. For me, it's not that big a deal. I just flip it over. Something to remember though. Okay, I'm gonna clean this with my paper towels. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. So first layer, and I go over it again. I kind of do circles, I go up and down if I went left to right. Just kind of get different areas. I do want it out of all that silk screen. I don't want it hiding in the corners. Okay, that's pretty good. Take it up. And when you take this up, you're gonna have a little bit of paste that's gone through the dirty water. Just wipe that up. And then I'm gonna spray this down with water. I'm gonna go over it with my paper towel. And then I'm going to use my board eraser, which is wet. Squeeze out the water and go kind of gentle on this side. I do have a big blob of paste right there. I'm going to go over the front. Look, this makes all the difference, guys. This board eraser. It gets everything out of the silk screen, even if it's the dark paste. Now, at some point, your board erasers are gonna start falling apart. They're gonna start crumbling. That point, you probably need to replace them with a new one. Okay. dry. Also, when you're cleaning the back side of this, the sticky side, you're removing any fuzz that you put on it. We put the fuzz on intentionally, but then we want to get it off to store it because we want to use it again. So just remember that. Okay, I'm going to get my backer. Oops. And remember how I marked the side. So that's the side that goes down. The sticky side goes on the unmarked side. Line up one edge, a couple corners, however you can do it. Smooth it down really, really well. This is good to store back in the cellophane container. So when you get these, they're going to come in a cellophane baggie. All you have to do, this is sealed with a sticky sealer. I just tape it to, I stick it to itself, and I can put this back in. Put in the other one I used. And then remember, we still have 2 more that we didn't even use. So these are reusable and these can still be used. So out of this one transfer, you can get many, many signs, designs out of this. So once they're in there, I unstick the flap. I stick it back down. Then I either hang them on a hook or I can lay them flat in a tote, whichever way works for the size I'm using. So those are ready to go again. So I was thinking I would like to put that heart on here. Let's see. Even though it's really big. Oh, you know what? Maybe I won't. I turned on my glue gun, but there's no battery attached. So you could add whatever you want to embellish this. I just thought that this would be cute, but you want to make sure you put it up really high so that you can still flip. Now, I did the boo-boo and didn't do them in reverse. So anyway, you can embellish it however you want. I hope you like this project. I hope you'll try it. I love this new surface. I'm gonna stock up because I think it's great. Even though you can reuse them over and over again, I think they'd be good for workshops. So I think I'm gonna get a few more. The transfers fit really well and they're really cute and they're usable, reusable. You can scrub them off and do a new design. Please give it a heart, like, follow my page. If you have any questions about anything, give me just send me a message. I will be back on. I might be back on again later tonight. If not, tomorrow. So I'll see you soon. Please sprinkle this out to anyone that you think would love it. Thank you. Bye.